What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Onney, the CEO, and I'm so happy to have you back for another week, another fire segment. As you know, this season, we're doing something a little bit different. We're having conversations with a king. So every week in this season, I'll have a new king sharing their dialogue with me on some of the trivial topics that has been going on social media and in the dating and marriage world. So I need you guys to buckle up your seatbelts because you're now plugged in, tuned in, tapped in, outside the box. Sometimes you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family, but really you can, you know what I'm saying? Because some friends do become family. And tonight's guest is definitely my brother from another mother. I want you guys to give it up for Scott Free.
I love you, man.
I love you too.
No, it's a pleasure, it's an honor, it's a privilege to be here.
Man, it's an honor to have you here because I am so proud of you. Every time I see you, I look up, you're doing something new, and man, I love your wife, Courtney.
Man, I love her
she
too, man.
Is just so beautiful. She's a little blessing from God.
Ain't she though?
You
She's,
better,
man,
better
look,
do it right.
she can't get rid of me now.
I say you better not mess that one up.
Nah.
Now look, I know who you are because we have years and years and years of friendship, and you have always been a solid brother. Man, like no other. But I know who you are, but those that are listening and watching may not know who you are, may not know what you have going on, and we're everywhere, and I want them to know exactly who you are and exactly what you have moving and shaking. So can you tell them who you are, where you from, and what you do?
All right, look, first and foremost, I am a father, I am a husband, I am a solid individual, I am a poet, I'm a curator, I am a businessman. I am from Beaumont, Texas. I am Mr. We Go Live, one half of the dynamic duo. And if you're tuning in and you want to check me out, you can catch me at wegolivetv.com or Scott Free Poetry on Instagram. I appreciate your love.
And everybody know that we go
live. Yeah.
Now, one of the things that you mentioned in your introduction is that you are a husband. Shout out to the husband. Yeah, so how has marriage influenced your personal and professional life?
I think that it's funny, I was just telling my wife this morning that it adds another level of value to your life. Being a husband, it gives you a bigger why. You might have started off in life just having a why. You do all the things you do, but it's kind of like when you become a father, right? Your why becomes that much bigger because you're not fighting for you anymore, just for you. You're fighting for somebody else. And that somebody is depending on you to make sure that they're getting your very best and you're giving your very best at all times. So being married, it has, in my grown age, has allowed me to be that much more mature. You know what I mean? You have to be that much more mature. You have to do what you have to do no matter what, because someone else is depending on you.
Now, that is so important because having a good partner, not just any partner, but having a good partner will come along and cultivate everything that you're doing. And I will say, just as a witness, since you said I do, even before the I do came, I started noticing the climbing. But once you said I do, it became like a superpower. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny because I told my wife on our last event, and it was our anniversary show actually.
And happy anniversary again.
I told her that her love is my superpower, and I try and tell her that as often as I can because that love that she has for me, it keeps me going. When I want to just, throw in the towel, I can't. There's no way that I can just lie down, knowing that this person that loves me so much is counting on me.
Baby, and she don't play about you.
Nah, she don't.
Listen.
Man. She don't, man. She will hurt somebody, man. Please, don't try it. Please, just don't try it.
Can I tell it?
Don't
I tell
try
a little story?
it, man. Go ahead,
Listen,
man. I guess.
Courtney don't come get me, girl. So, you know, me and Scott Free, we go way back. Listen, ain't never been no funny business. That's my family, right? So we at the poetry spot, and I had lost weight. I was skinny, so I changed my look like a chameleon. She didn't recognize me. She probably know who I was. And I was talking to her. She was like, "And who are you?" She straight was like ready to check me.
Okay,
baby,
so I didn't know. See,
yeah. You was like,
she slick with it.
Yeah,
she
baby,
she don't play about somebody like who you with.
Like, sis, that's bro, like for real, like you know what I'm saying? But I love that about her too.
Oh yeah, she don't play, man.
I love that about her
play,
too.
Man. She gonna be
and the sweetest person you could ever meet. Just don't get on her bad side. Yeah. But you know, most genuine people are like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When they love you wholeheartedly, you can't do them any kind of way.
No, you cannot.
You know what I'm saying? And she don't play about nobody she loves.
That's a fact.
She don't play about nobody she loves.
That's a fact.
So
that's why she's so stiff on it. You know what I mean? Like, she know her love is genuine.
Respect.
And if you trying to play with her and she knows she's trying to give you real, genuine love, then, you know, that's why she go hard like that in terms of who she gives her love to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I got a saying, right? People, sometimes I get a reputation for being hard to work with because I'm so stern, I'm so direct, I'm so clear on my expectations. And what I came to realize about myself and about my wife is that I'm not hard to work with. I'm hard to play with. And that's what people that's not really serious got a problem with. They got a problem because they can't play with me. You know what I mean? And same thing with my wife. You not finna play with her. She's not hard to deal with. She's not hard to work with. She hard to play with.
I like that.
So yeah.
That's a t-shirt. I'm not hard to work with.
I'm not hard to work with. I'm hard to play with.
I like that. Now, how do you guys navigate challenging times, especially when work demands increase? Because you guys both are your own entity. Like she's a woman of many talents.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Girl can cook. Listen.
Man, I'm in my third trimester. Been there since I met her.
Listen, I was finna ask when the baby was due. Now,
look, for real. I get a twin every day. I get another twin. I just keep on growing.
Yeah,
she got your boy.
But she's a woman of many talents, and you're a man of many talents.
Yeah.
And you guys came together and created a supernova
of
success. But how do you guys navigate the balance between it all? Because you're curating shows. You know, she's creating art, she's cooking, she's a poet, you're a poet. How do you guys navigate that?
One thing I had to learn is that I had to learn how to not rob her of her independence. Because sometimes as men, we can get so caught up in being providers and being in charge and being needed and so much so that we can rob our spouse of their independence. You know what I mean? So once I have to allow her the space to be herself, to grow individually, to grow as a businesswoman, as a mother, even as a wife, because I had to, you know, there's times when she didn't do the things I needed her to do the way I needed her to do, and God had to check me and say, man, hey, she's still becoming. You know, and one thing we all are doing is becoming. We're not who we're gonna be. Every day we can be somebody that didn't exist yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So realizing that she's not who she's gonna be yet, and I'm not who I'm gonna be yet, and we can only become as individuals if we given the space to do that, right? So not only that, as men, we often lose sight of the fact that, as husbands especially, that we have to prepare our spouse for life without us, because we are not in charge of our own lives, really. Like, I don't decide if I'm waking up tomorrow.
Right.
God decides that. So if I don't give her the space to be able to grow individually, what happens when I'm no longer here to pay all the bills, to do all these things that a woman expects a man to do, to provide and protect? If I don't prepare her to be able to do those things on her own, or allow her the space to grow enough to be able to sustain herself, I'm robbing her of her independence, right? and I'm putting her in a compromising position because tomorrow could be non-existent
And
for
I
me.
think one of the things, the stigmas that we have to grow from, heal from, and no longer adopt is that the man is supposed to be the sole provider. He's supposed to do it all. Well, no, because Proverbs 31 says a woman can go out there and she work with her hands.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it is meaning that that woman should be able to have an autonomy and also be able to add provision and also be able to cultivate what you're bringing to the table, because when you are, marriage is like it's not like it is. It's a partnership.
Absolutely.
So I mean, everybody have to do their part. Now you may be a man. Now thank God she can cook. You know what I'm saying? But her cooking might not be a requirement. But her knowledge and the way she navigates life is. The cooking is just a bonus. It's like, damn, God, you double bless me, because she beauty, brains, and she can cook.
Yeah, she got it.
You see what I'm saying? So sometimes different relationships require different things.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
So we have to get away from stigmas, you know, and that's why women want their autonomy. You know, they want to be able to make decisions. If I want to go buy my man a new pair of shoes, I don't want to ask him for an allowance to go buy him something.
Right.
I want to be able to go and work for it and buy it with the fruits of my own labor. So it's from me. I mean, who want to buy a gift that for themselves?
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that for one, to each his own. There's no knock to the woman that does want to be kept and pampered and taken care of. No knock against you. To, you know, for different folks, different strokes, right?
I still want to be kept and pampered and taken care of.
But you still want the ability to
Yes.
be able to provide what you individually want to be able to provide. And so, you know, you got to give your lady space to do that. Not only that, I personally believe that the man is like the primary power, right? And the woman is the backup generator. If the primary power source goes out, the backup generator kicks on, right? But it's not there to take care of all of the things. It's there to take care of critical needs. Okay, we gotta keep the lights on, we gotta keep the refrigerator going because we don't want the food to spoil. You know, we gotta get from to and fro. So she might have to cover certain things, but she's not there to pay for our vacations. She's not there to buy me new clothes, new shoes, and all this stuff. Hey man, I just need you to cover the basics until the main power source comes back online. Once the main power source comes back online, the generator can chill and keep storing up power. You know what I mean? Save your money.
Want your partner, your helpmate, to be able to
save
stand
your
in the
money.
gap.
I don't need none of that.
In the case of emergency, you don't want to be like a deer in headlights when things go wrong and you can't turn to your partner and they looking at you and you looking at them and they looking at you.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? I freed you up as the backup generator so you could just be on standby.
Yeah.
Save your money. Don't spend it all in one place, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not looking to my lady for her to go 50-50 with me. Some people want that, and I respect whatever works for y'all. But for me, I want to create a lifestyle that I can sustain, right? And in the event that something happens and we are in a financial hardship, that my spouse can hold down the critical things that we need to keep on. And then I'll get the main power source back up. Don't worry. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like in Houston when we have a flood, get that generator. You can't have everything you want, but you got AC, you know. But yeah, no, that's my take on that.
Now, how has marriage changed your approach? Well, I guess you did answer that question when you said about the people playing. They can't play with you. I was going to ask you, how has your marriage changed your, you know, how you handle work life? But like you said, she rubbed off on you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
She rubbed off.
Both
like, y'all don't let nobody play with y'all. So I guess you answered that question. Now, you didn't mention that you were a singer too.
Nah,
and it's been a while since you.
I don't consider myself a singer.
Come on, man.
I don't really.
If I can Google you and find some music online, you a singer.
Okay.
You're a singer. And it's jamming too.
All right, thank you. Man.
So, but you have so many different aspects to yourself. And it comes with its own share of fanfare. How do you handle that element? Because first of all, you got a wife that don't play about you. and you may have fans that don't necessarily know this is your wife.
Mm-hmm.
And they, fans, they're going to try you. Mm-hmm. How do you navigate that? How do you...
All right, a couple of ways. First, it has to be understood between you and your spouse. Mm-hmm. No more, because my wife is gorgeous. I can't stop a man from liking my wife. I can't. Nor can I stop her from being attracted to what she's attracted to. Mm-hmm. Right? It's having an understanding that, like, my wife and I, we stopped eating meat. We stopped eating, chicken, beef, and pork. We stopped eating those. And so, do I still, when I smell bacon, I know what bacon smells like. Bacon smells good. Mm-hmm. And I remember what bacon tastes like. Bacon tastes good, okay? All right? But
they found out you sneaking some bacon.
But see, this is the thing, right? She can't stop me from liking bacon. She can't stop me from smelling bacon. She can't stop me from seeing bacon, but I made a conscious decision to say I'm not partaking of it. Mm-hmm. I'm not consuming it, right? I decided that because that's it's not what's best for me. Mm-hmm. You're what's best for me. So even though I might see a beautiful woman, I can't deny her beauty. Mm-hmm. I can't even deny what I like. If I'm a man that likes a shapely woman, if I see a shapely woman, she's gorgeous to me. She's pretty to me, but I choose not to consume that. Mm-hmm. And I have to trust her to choose not to consume anything else but my love, right? So, and once we get that understanding, everything outside of that, it really doesn't matter. Because when it comes to worrying about another man talking to my wife, I'm really worried about her talking to another man. Mm-hmm. And so it's not that man that's the problem then. It's my wife. So I don't have a problem with men. If I got a problem, it's really with her, unless she's already told you she's not interested and you keep going. Now I got to step in.
Now, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And likewise, she ain't going to have that problem with me. You dig what I'm saying? Because look, if they try to talk, I say, what you say? Let me turn my hearing aid up. I get to twisting at it, right? Let me turn my hearing aid. What you say?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no, I didn't hear nothing you had to say, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me turn my hearing aid up. Now, can you say that again? Nah, okay, cool. You know what I mean?
Now, so how do you manage your time between all the things you guys are curating? Because, I've been to some of the shows, you guys, she in the back, she cooking up plates, you hosting shows, y'all doing all this. So how do you manage time between the poetry and marriage without you yourself feeling overwhelmed?
I'm going to be real with you as a man, and we having conversation with a king, right? So as a man, that's very difficult. And I don't think that I do it very well. I don't think most men do it very well, because when you give too much time to the family at times, you're neglecting the financial aspect of your relationship. And when you give too much attention to the finances, then you kind of neglecting either whether it's your spouse or your kids. It's almost like there's not enough time in a day. You know what I mean? I think that the best way to manage things is to have a team. Sometimes it's hard to find the right team, but you have to be looking out for those people, those gems that God put in your life. It could be a complete, total stranger, but he believes in your vision. He sees your vision. He's reliable. He's solid. He's resourceful. She, maybe even a she. But at the end of the day, you got to have a team, because, like, no one fulfills their purpose, I believe. No one really truly fulfills their purpose without other people's hand involved in it, right? Like, Jesus had a team. Mm-hmm. And
Shout out
Jesus.
To my team.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Yeah,
like, you gotta have even Jesus had a team, right? So who are you to think that you finna just fulfill your purpose and your destiny without a team? Right. And everybody, like Jesus, everybody on your team might not really be everything that you thought they were. But at the end of the day, they fulfilled their purpose, because sometimes, right, it's that kiss on the cheek that sets you back on the path that you're supposed to be on. Right? Like, Jesus was in the woods, he was praying, found the disciples, went back, prayed, they were asleep, went back, prayed again. God like, hey, Jesus needs some help, Jesus, go get them boys. He need to get back on his path. And sometimes our haters, this is another one of my quotes, sometimes your hater could be your biggest hero, because they be the reason you didn't quit, because you didn't want to give them the satisfaction of saying, I knew he was going to fail. Mm-hmm. You have every intention of saying, man, I just want to throw in the towel. But then you think about that one person that's waiting on you to quit. Mm-hmm. And that hater became your hero, just like that. Because if it wasn't for they hate, you would have quit.
Yeah.
Right? So that betrayal sometimes be that kiss on the cheek, that be the thing that sets you back on your path.
And sometimes that's almost a trauma response though, right? Because I believe that I was an overachiever in growing up because I had so many people tell me I wasn't gonna be anything. From the moment I got pregnant at 15, I was told, your life is over if you keep that baby. Your life is ruined. You're never going to be nothing. You're going to be a statistic. Well, look at me now. Look at me now.
Shining.
And he 29.
Ain't looking good.
And he 29. I started early, finished early, and still looking good. And I fulfilled my purpose. I'm still
Come on, man.
feeling my purpose. And I'm still finding myself. And I think also that's one of the stigmas that we have to deal with too. Because as we get older, we're gonna veer off the social media, but as we get older, the comparison is the thief of joy. Because we think, okay, I'm 45. I should be able to, I should have this by now. I should be there by now. But everybody's on their own timetable. And even within relationships, you might see one couple who might be seeing, they killing the game. They doing this, they doing that. And the first thing you think is, okay, well, what am I doing wrong? But my thing is, what could I be doing better? You know what I'm saying? In life, in relationships, and I try to learn from everything I experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, not to ramble too much, but I did want to ask you, from a mental health standpoint, a lot of men can't admit when they're overwhelmed with life. And to go home to their wife and say, hey, babe, I'm not handling life too well. It's taboo. It's never heard of, because men, from the men that I've heard on this series, it's just not something that men do, to be vulnerable. Would you say there's healing in your vulnerability?
Yeah.
Yes,
shout out to Nick.
There is, because men deserve
Nico.
a safe space to be able to say, I'm not okay. And it's okay to not be okay.
It's true. Everything you said about it being okay to not be okay, and to be able to express that is true. But unfortunately, in my experience, and most of the men I know, we don't have a safe space to go to, because it's like when you address it to maybe your spouse or to a young lady that is your companion, right? It tends to be a one-up after you tell her, like, man, I had a hard day. Oh man, I always had hard days. It's never like addressing what's really going on with you. Never, oh man, I'm really sorry to hear that, and how can I, give you any pour into you, right? It's always a comparison or a measuring stick, like, if you bring it to her attention that, you feel disrespected. Oh, you disrespect me all the time. It's like, dang, why do y'all want us to open up? You say you want us to open up, but you really don't want to deal with what we opening up about. You, it seems to me at the time, is that you just want to know you're not the cause of it. I'm not blaming you. You're waiting to hear me blame you so you can rebuttal. And it's like, you're not really asking to actually help me. You're asking to either be nosy or to find out if I'm blaming you for any of the things that I'm feeling, right? And that be most of the times why men, I feel like, don't open up. We have so many times we can open up or even cry, right? Let's say your man cried to you. The first time it's like, oh, he cried to me. Like, it means something to you, right? Let him cry a couple more times. You like, fam, like, and don't let it be about the same thing. Like, fam, you need to, come on, man. You really need to chill on all that. I ain't got the capacity for that. That be most of our issue. And so we learn how to compartmentalize our issues and our emotions, and we just sometimes need a safe space, man. We really do.
Right.
And yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough for us.
I think that in relationships, it's very important. It's very important, one, to not pick the time to bring up your woes when your partner bring up theirs. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn that too, and I think that just from a woman's perspective, I don't always think it's a one-upmanship. I think more so it could be a habit. It could be a learned behavior. Because it wasn't until it was pointed out to me by one of my dear friends, it wasn't even a relationship. She was telling me about something, and I went on to kind of give her an example of what I went through that was similar to what she was going through, and she was not sharing that with me so that I could share how I went through it. She was sharing it with me so that I could listen, so I could be a safe space for that to land, right? And she just said, you know what, Onney, how come every time I tell you something, you got to make it about you? And I didn't have a rebuttal. I was like, damn, I did kind of make that about me, didn't I? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you just have to kind of point it out, whether it's to your partner or what, let them know that that's a habit, because they probably don't even realize that you might be taking it as a one-upmanship where you can't be vulnerable, and it's just a habit that they have. They do that with everybody, and until you set a boundary with you, it's going to keep happening to you. Baby, I want to tell you how I feel, but I recognize that there's a pattern that every time I come to you and try to have this conversation, you make it about you. And this goes both ways, because I've had to have that conversation before and let my partners know, hey, it's not, I'm trying to share something with you. Because if a man comes to you and say, hey, or a woman and say, hey, you did this and it made me feel this way, right? That's not a time to be defensive, to say, oh, well, when you did it, I feel this way too. No. That's not the time to do that. That's the time to say, well, first of all, I made you feel a way. If I know that that wasn't my intention to make you feel a way, when I have to understand how you feel and understand and help you unpack why you feel that way. Is it have enough reflection within myself to be like, well, damn, because, some people could just be control. It can either be control or communication. And if I'm communicating something that's a trigger for me, you might not be triggering me on purpose. You know what I'm saying? But if I have a one-upmanship on it, it's like you tell me, babe, I found that was disrespectful when you did that. Instead of me asking, saying, baby, I didn't mean to disrespect you. What about it did you find disrespectful? Then you can express what you found disrespectful. Now, at that point, as a woman, I could determine whether I love you enough to look at that as a boundary or if I feel like it's control. Like if you tell me, I don't like the way you work, or I don't like disrespectful, you work too much. That's a personal issue on you. But if I'm overly friendly, you know what I'm saying, and that makes you feel a certain type of way, and you come in and say, babe, hey, I understand you have friends, but all that hugging everybody you meet and all that, them putting their hand around your waist every time y'all take pictures, that's kind of cringy to me. I have to respect you as a man and let the next brother I take a picture know, hey, don't put your hand in the small of my back. Don't put your hand around my waist. That's a little intimate of a picture. Hey, put your hand in front of your pants and let's just pose for this pic, because I don't need you touching on me. That's out of respect for my partner, because he feels a way about it, and I love him enough to be able to respect how I don't want to embarrass him. I don't want him to be, man, your girl hugged up on every nigga she's standing next to. I don't want him to feel that way. And the same thing goes for women. If a woman come to say, hey, I know that you don't mean no disrespect, but this little chick that you got working with us, she doing a little bit too much, babe. You might need to do something about that. That's not her being insecure. That's her setting a boundary to say, hey, I don't want this. I don't have to drag her because she ain't finna play in my face. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to have those conversations in order to be vulnerable without that one-upmanship. But it's hard to have that.
I understand. And, for one, let me say this. I've had the same dialogue that you're giving me with so many individuals and so many people is ridiculous. It's like I'm sitting across from myself right now just listening to you. To the point where it's refreshing to hear it from a woman, you know what I mean? And like, friend, you did that. You broke that down real nice. I ain't got to tap into that at all. Like, you handled that.
I ain't always know this. Listen, I had a couple failed relationships, and I had to realize the common denominator in those failed relationships was me. Everybody, don't get me wrong, I might have been a victim in certain situations, but I was more a victim to myself and my bad decisions and my choices. My picker was broke, guys. My picker was broke. But in the process of realizing my picker was broke, I also realized, one, I did not know how to communicate my needs. Therefore, if you can't communicate your needs, you can't communicate your boundaries.
Right.
And if you have poor boundaries, then how can you expect someone to show you the love that you're looking for when you don't even know how to communicate the love that you need? Because everybody is not cut, copy, and paste. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, depending on where you are in your relationship, you might need that partner in different capacities at different times.
Right.
You know, today I might need you for emotional strength. Tomorrow I might need you to go out there and let's get it and come back with it together. I might need you to get in the trenches with me. Hell, I might need you to be my personal assistant today. I might need you to be my delivery guy. I might need you, I might need you to be my masseuse because my back hurting. I might need you to be my best friend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just so I can have a conversation.
Right.
Who knows in what capacity I'll need you in, but it's not always going to be the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but you want to be able to have those tough conversations with your partner without it becoming a tit for tat, a one-upmanship.
Yeah. And I think part of that is it's like a learned behavior, like you said, right? When I was young, I got told, man, there's kids that wish they had what you have, or eat because there's people starving, right? And in that way, you're programming a person to find comfort in someone else's struggle, right? So the natural response is like with your girlfriend, let me tell you about my struggle. I'm really trying to comfort you. So let me tell you how I went through something so you can find comfort in my struggle with your own situation, you know what I mean? Because people wish they had what you had, Onney. You know what I'm saying? And so I should be comfortable because people have less than me. Why don't I just be happy because I have what I have? Not because others don't have it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They don't know what I had to do to get what I have.
Right. So,
and that ain't so pretty.
Okay. But we find comfort in other people's lack. And so when someone, like your friend, is different than a one-up, but you try to comfort your friend based on, I understand what you're going through, let me tell you how. Right? But it's not your situation that's going to comfort me because I don't wish it on you either.
Right.
Right? I don't wish that you went through that. You don't have to tell me that to make me feel better about me going through it because I'm bad. Now I'm sad for us both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now we having a pity party.
But yeah, no, I think that's a part of it though, man.
Now, how do you cope with anxiety, stress, or depression while working on the goals that you and your wife have together? Because men don't talk about their coping mechanisms. They just get up and keep going.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know that I do. Like, one of the things I deal with, being a combat vet, I have PTSD. I have certain mental things that I deal with on a regular basis, right? And because of the things that I've been trained to operate under stress, high level of stress. I've been trained to keep going under high levels of stress, and in dangerous situations or in dire need, I'm still going to push through. So it's kind of like, I don't know that I take the time to do that, to actually deal with those things. I just go, I just push, I compartmentalize it and dig deep and keep going, as opposed to unpacking it and, itemizing it and saying, okay, this is what this is and I need to address this. I can't honestly tell you that I know how. I know that recently one of the things that God showed me and gave me revelation of is rest. I need rest. And man, the realization is, man, we all need to rest. Even God rested. So no matter how hard you going, no matter how important it might be, no matter what you're doing in life, you have to rest. Even God had to rest. So what make you think you don't have to rest?
Right.
We all have to rest. We got to get some rest. So I think that's a start, right? I started getting rest. But
and
I still
do you know
need to address
that
things.
When you, and I'm going to tell you this, my brother, when you unpack the things that trigger you, you take your power back. You know what I'm saying? a lot of times we think, like, people be like, oh, Nay, I don't know, you so strong, you so strong. If they, people that know me know I done been through some stuff, okay? And they be like, man, you so strong, how you so strong? Listen, I'm not as strong as I look. I just keep waking up. Because yesterday's best might be better than today's best, but today is still my best. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of times people see this, they see the glitz, the glam, the studio, and the pictures, and the Instagrams, and the Facebooks, and they be like, oh man, you live a fabulous life, you always traveling. But what about those times where I'm dealing with functional depression? Where I know I still have to get up, I still have to go to work, I still have to run payroll, I still have to get these CMOS orders batched up and shipped out. Like, I still have things that I have to do, so I can't afford to fold up like a lawn chair and give up, even though some days I feel like I could. You know what I'm saying? And just like I deal with it, you guys deal with it too, but there's no safe space to say, I just need to fold up like a lawn chair today and it'd be okay. Yeah. Because even as kids, we were told, children want to be seen and not heard. And then now you guys are men and you were told that you need to provide. Like, that's it. You just provide. You provide. And it's almost like, well, fuck me. You know? What about my feelings? What about my emotional needs? What about my own traumas? Men go through traumas too. You hear so much about women that's healing from molestation and rape, and they have brothers out there that's coping with the fact that they were molested, but they can't, there's no safe space for them to share that without them being stereotyped as gay or something wrong with them. It's the society, the society just does not create safe spaces for men to admit a lot of the traumas that they go through, and they never have a place to unpack it. Instead they just pack it around, and then the people that they love the most, the ones that they are most intimate, that know them in the most intimate way, usually ends up being a landing pad for their unprocessed traumas. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So as a man that kind of goes through your traumas or go through your stresses and that doesn't necessarily really unpack it, you just carry the weight in grace. Yeah. How do you keep from projecting those stresses on your partnership?
Love. Love. Because I think that love is a sacrifice. And sometimes as men, we have to sacrifice so much to make sure that we cover our loved ones with our cloak of love. Like, I love you enough not to pull this out on you. I love you enough not to pour this out on you, because I know the weight of it will crush you. The weight of it will crush you. Or maybe you may, once I tell you what I'm dealing with, you may try and help me, but you're not equipped to help me. And then that's going to cause even more issues, because when you feel inadequate as a person, it damages a relationship with a person, because you feel inadequate and you start projecting that on them, because you think that maybe I'm not good enough for them, or maybe they think I'm not good enough for them because I can't even help them. You know what I mean? Maybe that's why he has this friend over here or that friend over there, and I should be the only. It just creates other questions. Right. And sometimes as men, we don't want to even have those conversations. We know where it's going to go. I also need to say this, that as men, we also need to create safe space for men. Right? We need to create safe space for each other. Brotherhood, for real, because, we don't want to hear another man's problems because we got enough problems of our own. But, man, listen, sometimes we need to create a space and have accountability partners. Sometimes it's just, hey, man, get it together, bro, because, you tripping, man. Don't talk to your lady like that. In fact, man, don't talk to her in no way you wouldn't let no other man.
Seen your kids.
Right. Like, we need accountability partners, bro. And I think that if more men not judgmentally talk to other men, but accountability partners, because out of respect, relationships there has to be respect first, accountability and then love, because you can love somebody all you want. Y'all got family that y'all love right now, but they can't come to your house because you don't have respect for them.
I love people that I don't respect.
Okay, so the love is not going to get you in the door. The respect that they have for you is going to get you through their door. You know what I mean? There are people you love, but
will keep them there.
But the love will keep them in your heart.
Yeah.
But it might not keep them in your presence.
Life. Yeah.
Right? So respect above all things, because even your enemy, you're going to demand respect from your enemy. So why wouldn't you need respect from the people that love you?
Right.
So love, respect first, and then accountability. You got to take accountability for how you show up for people or don't. You know what I mean? It's like what you said earlier, the accountability of how I made you feel. But as men, we often attack the assumption. Let's say for instance, you assume that I'm cheating on you. As men, here you go with that bull crap again. There you go. And we start getting mad about the assumption as opposed to saying, I'm sorry that I ever made you feel that way. First and foremost, taking accountability and respect for even making you feel that way. I apologize. You know what I mean? But let me reassure you.
Especially if you have had a past behavior.
You might have given a reason to feel that way, right? Her assumptions might be incorrect, but we get to that later. Let's get to your feelings first. I'm sorry for making you feel that way. I didn't mean to make you feel that way. I should never make you feel that way, and I'm sorry. I apologize. I take accountability for my role in that. But let me reassure you, I am not messing around on you, and I'm sorry. And whatever I got to do to rectify that feeling, let me do that for you. You know what I'm saying? And she may not believe you, but you can't get mad because she don't believe you. Just do your part. You did your part. You took accountability. You show her respect, and you might have disagreed, respectfully disagreed, right? But then the love can still abide because she at least know you hear her. You heard her feelings, and you addressed her feelings. So yeah, I mean, and then as men, we have to do that for each other.
Right.
Bruh. You gotta take accountability and you gotta lead with respect for that man. Cause you come at a man disrespectful, he ain't gonna try to hear you nowhere. He ain't gonna hear nothing you saying. You be talking good sense, but if you talk to him in a certain way, or you come, if he don't respect you, you can be telling everything he need to hear. But if he has no respect for you, he don't care about what you saying.
That's why having healthy mentorship is very important. Whether it be in business, whether it be in relationships, whether it be couples that's been married for a very long time who done been tried and tested, through the test of times, and they can kind of give you a little bit of feedback. Because I always tell people, marriage is not about how much you love a person. At the end of the day, it's about how much of that bullshit you can put up with. Because everybody come with their own share of shit. Let's just get it clear. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is copy paste perfect. You know what I'm saying? You have to sometimes, out of the love that you have for your partner, you will compromise, you will grow, and you will change. Not saying that person changed you, but the love that you have for them can inspire change. Whether it be your partner work out every day and you see that that's an intimate thing. Now you want to work out, so now y'all both healthy together, or whether they pescatarian and now you done put down the pork too because you see the glow in them and it's inspiring change you. Not that she made you become pescatarian, but she cook it real good, but two, it's like you realize that there's a benefit in it. So it wasn't it's like you guys grew together in that way. And so when you could look at your marriage like a partnership and not live in comparison to what you see trending on social media, you set your own rules within your. I always tell people, set your own rules. Get off of the clickbait. The clickbait will have you thinking that a woman ain't got to do nothing but bring some punani to the table, and the man's supposed to provide. And that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Not realizing that it's so many more layers to that. You want to have, you want to feel safe. Like I always tell, my partner, marriage to me, the title marriage is not a goal for me. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, that's not me saying I don't want to be married in life. That's me saying I'm after more than just the title. I want the emotional intelligence. I want to be able to still be myself and have my autonomy and grow my businesses and chase my dreams and live outside the box. I still want to be able to have my friends and my social life. And I'm not one that that club. You know, my social life consists of me and my girls going to brunch, you know what I'm saying, on a Sunday or something. But I still want to be able to have my own autonomy, because when you are able to be your authentic self and have your autonomy and not be isolated into a relationship, it make you miss your partner more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, even if you go out, you have a good day with the fellas, man, when you leave, you already in the car. Hey, baby, I'm on my way home.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? What you got on, girl?
For
I'm
sure.
in the car. You know, you had a couple drinks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the same thing go for the girls. I done been out on Sunday, had a few mimosas.
Yeah, I'm ready to come
boo,
home.
Yeah.
For sure. You know what time it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sometimes allowing your partner to be themselves authentically kind of can keep the relationship spicy.
For sure.
Yeah, it can keep it spicy.
For sure.
Now, what I wanted to ask you, because one of the things that you say is that, you know, you process your own things the way you do, basically just surviving through it. You know, get up and put your best face forward. Do you think it's a stigma around men admitting that they need help?
I don't think it's a stigma. I think that some men don't know. I think that they just really, it took me time to realize I needed it. You know, you don't want to believe that you need it. You want to believe that you're strong enough to endure whatever you're dealing, whatever's in your life. You want to believe that you can handle it. You know what I mean? Without needing any outside interference, other than God, maybe, right? But most men think, you know, I ain't gonna speak for most men, because I don't know most men. I can say the men that I know, I don't think they see a problem. You know what I mean?
I know, because a lot of times you're like, well, what are your thoughts on getting therapy? First thing, I don't need therapy. I mean, therapy is cool, but I don't need therapy. And they be the main ones that need therapy. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you don't know what you need.
Yeah.
And realistically, if you've never experienced therapy, you probably don't know that you really need it. It be the people that's actually experienced therapy that's trying to tell you, hey, you might need to see a therapist. Right? And they like, man, for what? I don't need to see no therapist. I don't need to sit down and tell nobody about my problems. But that person knows how valuable that can be.
It'll help you unpack root trauma that you don't even, because it takes you back. You got to go back to your child. It starts from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like the women, they may have daddy issues. Men may have daddy issues. Men may have mama issues. Your parents might have been married and went through a disastrous divorce, and now you're afraid of committing the marriage because you don't want to relive what your parents went through. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's different things that happen, and then some people, they never heal from that trauma, and they project that trauma in their relationships. Or, you know, if their mom was promiscuous, you know what I'm saying, and cheated on their daddy, and they witnessed it but couldn't say nothing, they grow up with an animosity towards their mom, especially if the marriage didn't work out between their dad. Then not only that animosity carries over to women to believe that all women cheat. You know what I'm saying? Just like I've been guilty of saying all men cheat, you know what I'm saying, because I have yet to experience not being cheated on. You see what I'm saying? And you really don't know until the relationship is over, for real, if you've accomplished that. You know what I'm saying? So I can't project, because my past relationships, I've always been cheated on, to the next man I meet. I can't be like, oh, well, he just like all men, he gonna cheat on me too. That's not fair to him.
I think it's hard for us, excuse me.
Go ahead.
Didn't mean to cut you off. I think it's hard for us to realize or to admit when we've healed wrong. Because you can, let's say for instance, you break your bone, it can heal wrong. And what do you have to do to make it right?
Re-break it.
You gotta break it again. It's like, nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna work with what I got. You're not finna break this again. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to go back through the healing process again, and I don't want to do that. So we don't want to know. Sometimes we don't even want to go to the doctor because we don't want to know. I don't want to know that I healed wrong. I've been doing fine with this limp. I can make it. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I've gotten used to this limp. I know how to walk with it. I know how to make it look cool now. I know how to do everything I need to do with this limp. Nobody even need to know that I was broken here, and that's why the limp is there. You know what I mean? They just think that I got this natural bop to my walk. But really, bro, you need to re-break that so they can reset it, wrap it right, and so it can heal correctly. Nah, I'm straight.
Listen, and that's kind of like therapy or getting trauma out the body. It's painful to do any type of somatic trauma releases from the body, you know, because we keep that trapped up. And for men, there's so many men walking around here and they have trapped emotions, trapped feelings because they don't have a safe space to land to share those feelings. They don't have accountability partners that really want to see them win. You know, sometimes our best supporters are strangers. They're not people that we know. You know, sometimes our best advice comes from people that don't look like us. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we can't get the best advice from our own backyard because they used to the same trauma we used to, and they functioning in the same trauma we functioning from. It's just like, I love my daddy. I am a daddy's girl, but I can't go to him for certain advice. Cause why? He got 9 baby mamas. What he gonna tell me about being a good man? I mean, he can tell me, look back on it, of what his idea of a good man was, but I can't. And I'm not saying he was a bad man. I'm just saying that I don't know what it's like to see my mom and my biological father together in a healthy, cohesive relationship. You don't think that played a part in how I dealt with relationships moving forward as a woman? Of course it did.
Yeah.
Same thing happens with us. And what we do is we're really carrying around trauma that don't even belong to us. You know what I'm saying? And then it turns into our trauma because why? We engage
or we repeat it
with people that we love, still holding on to the trauma that didn't belong to us in the first place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I just want to say to you, like, I think it's dope that you and your wife literally are best friends. You know what I'm saying? She like the yin to your yang or the yang to your yin. You know
all of that. All of that. But it's not always easy though.
I know.
You know
Absolutely.
It's you know, it's a challenge.
Like
but
I
think that marriage, to go back to your thing about marriage, right? Marriage is loving in spite of. You know what I'm saying? I love you in spite of your flaws.
It's a covenant,
right? That's part of that, because you gonna have your times, bro. Where it ain't gonna be, it's gonna be trouble in paradise. But in spite of, I don't want to do this thing without nobody. I don't want to do this thing with nobody else. In spite of your little short self, I'm gonna keep you. You know what I'm saying? I might like them 6'2". You know what I'm saying? I can never be 6'2".
Yeah.
But in spite of that, like, I'm gonna love you, bro. I'm gonna love you like you 6'4". You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In spite of, because I might not be everything that she finds attractive in other people, just like she might not be everything I find attractive in other people. Like, you know what I'm saying? But in spite of whatever block you don't check, man, I love you, dog, and your love is my superpower. Like, I'm good on all that other stuff, man. You the one. In spite of anything you feel like you lack, in spite of anything I feel like you lack, I want to do this thing called life with you.
Now, let me ask you this before we wrap up the show. If there's a young brother that's married, the married kings, we're going to talk to the married kings tonight, and they're having a season of self-doubt in their marriage, what could you tell them?
Give me an example of what kind of doubt.
Are they enough? A lot of men feel like they're not enough.
Man, I'm going to be real with you. Sometimes we not. And you got to take accountability for that so that you can grow in the areas you need to grow in. I have daughters and I have 8 sisters. So I'm very realistic and transparent about some of the things that we as men feel like we're entitled to. Like, for instance, because we're the man, we feel like what's swaying between our legs qualifies us to be the head and lead. Now, God meant for you to be the head, but you still got to be qualified to lead that woman. And you be mad because she don't listen. She don't listen and this, that, and the other. But the truth is, she would not be this far in life if she didn't listen to nobody. You, sir, need to ask yourself, why doesn't she listen to you?
Because it might be that you're failing in your leadership.
It be your leadership
and
style.
You're not taking her anywhere. So why would she submit to someone that don't know how to lead?
Okay, but so her not listening, her not listening, you feeling like you're not, you might not be qualified to lead her, sir. You might need to go through the prerequisites that you skip the prerequisites, and sometimes we want to skip the prerequisites straight to respect, straight not to respect, because it's some certain amount of respect you're required to give to any individual, right? But there's other things that are supposed to be reserved for your husband. Right? And you're thinking you're going to demand that day one because you're her boyfriend. Like, nah, sir, you're not qualified for that. Like, you don't have the platinum package. You have the bronze package right now, sir. And in order to get the platinum package, you got to level up.
Bring it back down.
Right. You got to level up. And you can't think just because you're a man that you're the man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might not be enough, brother. You need to take a step back and observe what you need to adjust to get to the bronze, out of the bronze package into the platinum package, bro.
And it might not be that you're not enough. You just might not be dating in your league.
That's true too. You might be wanting a Bentley, but you can't afford the maintenance on it.
Right.
You need to go ahead and settle for that Toyota, fam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna get you where you got to go, bro. And the truth is, if you can't you can't be putting unleaded in a premium vehicle, bro. Like, is she a premium woman? You can't come with no unleaded bullshit, bro. If you gonna gas her, you better make sure it's premium. If she a premium woman, bro, you can't be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we just be wanting to be seen in that Bentley.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had one of them things. We still living in the past, man. Remember Shawty I used to have? Woo. Like, nah, bro, that's in the past, bro. It got repoed.
What you used to have.
It got repoed. You know what I'm saying? Her old dude came and got her. It got repoed, fam. So yeah.
Oh, now somebody spent the block.
Yeah,
We're not
man.
spending no blocks over here, so y'all don't come over with that BS,
Come on, man.
Okay?
Nah, man.
Well, I don't want to keep you all night because I know I definitely could. Because we could talk all day. We go back like
For sure.
repeat offenders.
For sure.
But for those that are listening and watching, where can we find you? You have your own Instagram page, Scott Free.
Yes. You can find me on Instagram at Scott Free, or you type in Scott Free Poetry. Scott Free, like I gotta wait. Scott Free. Scott with 2 T's. Or We Go Live TV. We Go Live TV on Instagram, or you can just go to wegolivetv.com, man. Find me, man. I am Mr. We Go Live, Scott Free, man. I appreciate y'all hanging with your boy,
guys,
man.
If you guys are poetry fans or poetic enthusiasts, and that's your vibe, make sure you go to that We Go Live page. They are always updating with events that they are having in Houston, and they travel. They are, international, okay? So you never know. They might just be in your country, your city, your state. Make sure you follow the movement. They got some amazing things popping. They starting the year off right. 2025 is coming out with a bang. So you got to make sure you follow the movement. I want to thank you so much for being a part of my movement and my journey.
Always.
And creating dialogue. I want to remind all you guys that we are on multiple platforms. You can find us everywhere. We're on Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. We are everywhere. If you like what you hear, you want to join a visual, make sure you come on over to our family page, Outside the Box with Onney, on YouTube. Make sure you come on over to the page, click the subscribe button. Also click that bell notification so you can be notified when another segment drops. And of course, we are already casting for the next season. So if you want to sit on the couch with me, make sure you submit your EPK and your bio to otb.liveshow onneytalkshow@gmail.com, and one of our casting directors will get back to you. And if you like the content, you like the quality, you want to become a podcast content creator, make sure you go to www.onneystudios.com for more information, or you can give us a call at 346-491-5315, and you can bring your vision to fruition today. Start today. Become a podcaster. Let your voice be heard. I want to thank you for letting your voice be heard. You know, it's always a time whenever we link up.
For sure.
Man, it always feel like a family reunion.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
we got to do this again.
To catch up as often because we both are
going
hitting those goalposts.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to thank you for taking time out your schedule, for coming and joining this series. We need brothers like you to use your voice, because this season we have had a lot of married kings. So ladies, stop believing that there's no men out there putting rings on the finger, because we have had quite a few married kings come and say some of the same things. They just need a safe space to land.
Facts.
Are you qualified to have a king on your team? I want to thank you guys for joining us, and I want to ask you, well, I guess I already asked you the questions that I had to ask you, so I'm not going to keep you long.
You can ask me as many questions as you want. I'm here, you know. I'm here.
Yeah, so I just want to just say thank you. That's all I really want to say. And I just want to actually tell your friends and tell a friend, come
Absolutely.
and join the page, follow the movement, join the conversation. And if you guys want to join the conversation, leave us some comments on the page. We will respond to you. I want to remind you that we will be here same time, same place next week. I'm your girl, Onney the CEO. You're plugged in, tuned in, tapped in. It's outside the box.